tonight to consider each of the offers.
Thank you, Alex.
Thanks, Alex.
Rosie.
I don't want to know.
Hey, Alex.
Hey, I want to swing by and drop something off for Rosie.
Come on by.
So she journeyed across the sky, never to stop nor even try.
I think you're gonna want to see this.
Hello. Hi, welcome. It's Robert McArtor with Maryland Homes team. I am going solo tonight. Going solo. So just want to let you know, my wife is not here, but we're going to have a great time. We're actually going to be talking about our market stats. What's going on in our local market area? What's going on even nationally? I'm going to pick out a couple of spots in California and Florida. And we're going to just have a good time tonight going over these stats and finding out how best to position yourself, whether you're looking to buy, whether you're looking to sell. This is going to be the night that you definitely want to tune in and find out what's going on in our market. We're going to talk about that and a whole lot more just as soon as we get back. Well, hello and welcome back. I appreciate everybody joining with me. It's a question and answer type of format tonight, but you just want to make sure that, tonight I'm probably not going to take a lot of questions, and that's fine. Just go ahead and give me a thumbs up or a heart or something of that nature. If you're looking to support the show, please feel free to subscribe to us. We would greatly appreciate it, especially if you're watching us on YouTube. If you're not, we are always on social media. So you're going to find us on Facebook. Obviously, we're streaming live to several different channels tonight. We also have Instagram. We're also streaming live to LinkedIn. We have a TikTok channel, which is great. And we also stream live to YouTube. So we're really looking forward to seeing everybody there tuning in tonight. Also, make sure if you want to support us, support the kind of people that we support, the communities that we support, you want to dive into our team merch account. It's mhtmerch.com. Just go ahead and click on there. You're going to find t-shirts. You're going to find all types of logo wear, mugs, and things like that. So every dollar that's spent on mhtmerch.com, it enables us to write out a check to local benefits that really needs our support, that really looks to Maryland Homes team for their support. And we really appreciate you diving in and helping us out in that area. That would be awesome. So tonight it's all about housing stats, right? So that's what we're going to talk about. And again, if you do have a pressing question, something that you'd like to ask us, please feel free. It is a live Q&A show right now. So again, we're streaming out to many different formats. But the way that I'm going to be doing tonight's show, it's not going to allow me to really be able to answer a lot of questions that are out there. So please feel free to put your questions in the comment section below, and I'll be more than happy to revisit it maybe at a later time, later this evening, and I'd love to be able to respond to you. So let's kind of summarize what has happened here over the last 12, 15, 20 years or so. And let's take a look at the graph. Alto single family active inventory, this is their 7-day average. You can see right here that if you look at the red line where it's pointing right now, that's where we are in our inventory right now. The active inventory that we currently have, a little over 400,000 homes nationwide, and that is starting to curve upwards a little bit. Now, the upward trend is basically, I believe, is seasonal. We're at the peak of our market right now. We're in our end of the June market, and we're at the peak of the market. The experts are saying right now that red line level is probably going to continue out the remaining of this year. If you look at it compared to 2019, 2020, even 2021, which actually started the dip there, and we started to rise from there in 2023, we are still well below what those averages are from 2015 up through 2020, as you can see where the curve started to take a dip. That's where we are as far as the inventory. Now let's take an overview of what's happened here recently. If you look back in July 2006, that's where the peak of the market occurred. And then, of course, from there, it's took a dive. And that is where the crisis bracket occurred. So the crisis bracket in the market went from 2006 all the way down to 2012. That was the bubble bursting within our market. And then if continue on February 2012, that's when we started to see the uptick. And it's a long-term uptick that Case Shiller has reported to us. So if you look at it, it was gradual, it was continual. There was a lot of buyer behavior, of seller behavior that occurred, a lot of incentives that were occurring in the marketplace. The interest rates were fantastic to work with. So you could see how that became just a bullish run heading northwards. And then all of a sudden, March 2020 occurred. And that is when our market really took off. It took a very short period of time to go from March 2020 up to the height of the market in just a few months. And the interest rates were fantastic. You had a lot of buyers out there that were looking aggressively for homes. The inventory was still fairly tight, which really drove those prices up. But then a lot of, as you can see at the peak here, there was a lot of people that said, hey, we are going to go into a crash and we're not going to be able to get out of it. And that crash point happened in the summer of last year. Up to this point, it wasn't really a crash. It was just a very strong dip in the market. But as you can see, we have gone, there's a small curve that is going up at the very end of this chart. And that's important to understand that we are still in a very aggressive market right now with buyers. We don't have enough inventory. We don't have enough homes that are hitting the market. With over 400,000 homes on the market right now, we need over 800,000 homes to continue on into as we start to move into a buyer's market. And we're nowhere near there right now, folks. So I want to make you aware of that. So that's really important to understand and important to realize that, we are in a seasonal, but it's starting to flatline now out as far as how many homes that are available, as far as how many buyers that are out there. We're still seeing a multiple offer situation on certain properties in certain locations. Are we seeing price corrections throughout Maryland, throughout the country? Absolutely, we are seeing some price corrections right now, some pricing dips. And I want to take a dive into our maps next, so just so we can see what it looks like live throughout our nation. So give me a second here, and let me click over to a couple of things that I need to do, and then we'll go into our live map scenario. So here we go into our live map, and we're going to start off with our median list priced, and these are basically properties here that are, you're going to see the price reduction by county of June versus May of last year. And we're going to take a dive. We're going to move right into and zoom right into the Maryland area. And let's take a look and see what is happening here. So as you can see right now, if we tap into Hartford County, we're going to take a look at that. The active listings as of May is 360 active listings. The peak to current right now is 1.8%. So you're looking at 1.8% growth in the pricing on the properties. So you're looking at April and May. If you look down at March, obviously there's a little bit of dip, and that was seasonal, and that's fairly well. But we're still 18% over pre-pandemic numbers in May of 2019 at 18, almost 18.5%. If we look at Baltimore County, you're seeing a rise in home pricing at 3.41%. And again, seasonal, you're looking at April and May from 1.12% to 3.41%. But then from March going all the way back to August, you're seeing continued price reductions there. But keep in mind, folks, we're still 21.5% over pre-pandemic levels there. Baltimore City, unfortunately, has taken probably the biggest hit. You're looking at a price reduction there, 6.96%. And they've really taken a hit throughout the entire season here from last July all the way up to this point. You can continually see the price reductions that are occurring in Baltimore City. And that's reflected of reflection of the market of inflation where we stand today. Garrett County, if we fly over here to Garrett County real quick, you can see the same things happening there. Price reduction 4.62%. They've seen a price reduction from February of this year. There was a lot of increases, of course, from July up to that point, and they're still 46% over what it was pre-pandemic levels. And of course, if you fly down to Cambridge and Dorchester County, you can see that they've also taken a hit at 7.25%. But there are other counties that are doing just fine. Cecil County, you're looking at 11.42% peak to current, folks. That's peak to current in Cecil County. So there's a lot of people that are going and heading into that area, which is fantastic. If we take a look at the overview of the map, you can see that over here in California, there are a lot of price reductions. And that is what we have to really kind of take a look at. And because that's going to really help us gauge as far as where our market could be heading in our particular area. If you look up into like Crescent City, up in Del Norte County, you're looking at a 0.23% growth, and that's pretty much it. But look at all the reductions there. You're talking about 9%, 11%, 13%, 7%, and that's month over month. That's continued with those reductions. Down here, we're going to take a look at also Mendocino County. You're looking at an 8.21% reduction. And take a look at all of those percentages there. Quite high numbers there from July up to May in the price reductions. And they're steady. They're actually going under on the pre-pandemic level in that particular county there. If we kind of move up the map here a little bit and we go into San Luis County, Obispo County, you're looking at a 0.09% reduction. But again, month over month from July to that point, you can see all of the reductions, the price reductions percentages that have occurred within this area. Even the interior counties of California are still feeling the heat. They're feeling the reductions. And a lot of that is, it could be a political environment. It could be just a financial environment. There's a lot of different factors that occur there. We can zoom in here to Florida, and we can see the same thing occurring here. A lot of your Gulf Coast side counties here, Manatee County, you're looking at a 1.8% reduction, and there's been reductions in that county ever since August of last year, and it just continues right on up. Hillsborough County is the same way, a 0.42% reduction, also a 2.39 increase. However, that wasn't until after they had 3 to 7 different price reductions from there. So Florida's taken a pretty good hit as well here recently. A lot of the interior states here have not reported, just to let you know, but even around Austin. So if you're thinking Austin and Texas, even they've taken quite a bit of a hit. If you look at some of the outlining counties around Austin and even around Houston, I know that was a hotbed area for people that were relocating to. So just to let you know, that's where we stand with that particular map there. The second one that we're going to go to is renting versus the buying. And a lot of these we're not going to spend a whole lot of time on, but renting versus buying, what does that take a look? What does that look like for those across Maryland? We're going to kind of focus in on Maryland here for just a moment. So as we zoom in, renting versus buying, and you can see that everyone has reported here within the county, or most counties have reported. So if we look at Baltimore County, the rental cost, you're looking at an average around $1,600. But to be able to buy a property there is going to cost you approximately $2,500, somewhere in that average. So you're looking at a surplus deficit of $950. So there's going to be a deficit there of $950 if you're looking to buy versus renting in the county. And that is why, just to let you know, that is why that a lot of there's not a lot of inventory when it comes to renting a property. You're not going to see the inventory out there. And that's the reason why. So if you look up here, even to Harford County, in Harford County, you're looking at an average rent of $1,700 a month. However, the buying cost there, you're looking at around $2,900 a month. So you're looking at a deficit of $1,100 a month. So just to make you aware. Now, the peak to current on that in Harford County, just to let you know, is you're looking at 2.96%, 2.96%, and it's still pre-pandemic levels, 31% over pre-pandemic levels. If we run into Baltimore City, in Baltimore City, you're looking at an average rent of $1,600 a month, but your buying cost is only $1,445. So in Baltimore City, as you can see showing green right there, it actually costs you less, or it's going to cost you less to buy a property in Baltimore City than it is if you were going to rent a home in Baltimore City. And that's where the stats show. But as you can see, if you take a look at the entire map here, there's very few areas that show green. A lot of them are flip-flopped right now, especially looking along the coastline of California. A lot of those counties it's very, very difficult. So if we go into the Monterey County, we're looking at a monthly payment of around $2,600. But to buy a home there, it's going to cost you $3,100 a month. And that is, again, reflective of whether it's a political environment, whether it is a inflow migration, outflow migration stats that we're going to be looking at in just a few minutes. You're going to see a lot of that, and it could be just obviously finances, and just a lot of those local companies are taking a fairly large hit within this inflation era that we're in right now. So let's take a look at the inflow outflow map. Now, the inflow outflow migration map is basically the lighter color that you see on the map is the outward migration, and the darker color is the inbound migration. This is the people that are coming into these counties, into these states, versus the darker colors are the inbound migration. So you can see the outbound migration. There's quite a few light colors through here. Now, if we kind of zoom into Maryland, we're going to see an outward or an outbound migration that is occurring in Baltimore County. They're at 0.61%, and this is the net migration from 2020 to 2021. And you can see that they have been suffering year over year as well with that outward migration. Baltimore City taking one of the largest percentages there at 1.5% of the outward migration. But take a look at all the dark colors around there. Take a look at Harford County, for instance. Harford County is at 0.79%. 0.79% is you can see people are moving out of the local areas and they're going into Harford County. They're going into Carroll County at a 0.5% growth right there. They have a net migration there of 0.5%. And then you also take a look at Howard County. Howard County is also at 0.67%. Take a look at Sussex County, Delaware. A lot of people are flooding there. They have an incoming inward migration of 4.28%, and then also Kent County, Delaware at 1.26%. So people are loving, they're heading to those beachfront properties. They want to get closer to the water. Retirees are moving out there, and that's fantastic and great for them. Even Cecil County, looking at 0.17% inward migration. And as you move out towards the western side of the county, they're taking a little bit of a hit as far as people moving out of those areas, 0.36%, and then Allegheny, the next door neighbor there, at 0.55%. So we kind of zoom out of the map here, we can see that where the darker areas are, you're looking at the western end of the United States, but is heavily in the migration area. People are moving into Valley County, Idaho. They're moving into Idaho. They're moving into Nevada and Utah and places like that, Arizona. But then when you get over to California, this kind of makes sense as far as why the market is where it is. And that is, you can see a lot of people basically just fleeing these particular areas at great numbers. You're looking at 0.32% in Humboldt County, California, 0.11%. Even the inward county at Trinity County, you're looking at 0.32%. And you zoom down here to Sonoma County, 0.61%. And then we come down here in the Los Angeles area, 1.84%. 0.48%. You're looking at 0.39% in Santa Barbara County. So in these areas right here, people are moving out and they're heading to points eastward within that same state, or even going outside of that state as you head into Nevada, which is experiencing quite a bit of growth, and also Utah as well, experiencing a lot of influx inward of migration there. And that's pretty exciting news. And when you head down to even Texas, Texas is the same way. A lot of people are moving into these areas around the Austin area. A lot of companies have moved around the Austin area, and there's a lot of jobs that are being offered there. 1.42% in Milam County. You can look at Bell County, Texas, 2.42%. That's pretty amazing. How about Blanco County, Texas? 4.5% inward migration. That's pretty amazing there. So we take a look at that. And then let's zoom over here to California. To Florida. So Florida also is experiencing it. And also you can take a look at even the coastal towns. A lot of those coastal counties there, Georgetown County, South Carolina, 0.82%. You move on down to Beaufort County, South Carolina, 2.47%. So people are still wanting to move into Florida. The mid-counties, the mid-state counties are the ones that are taking the largest influx of people, like Dixie County, Florida, 2.5%. And then you're looking at 2.05 rather. And then Lake County, Florida, 3.09%. And then even when you come down to like Henry County, 1.75%. And then some of the coastal counties like Collier County, 2.72%. And then how about Sarasota, Florida? Sarasota County, 3% influx there. And that's pretty amazing. So even the coastal counties are experiencing the inward inbound migration, except for when you get down to Miami. So you get down to the Miami area, like Monroe County, Florida, 0.85, minus 0.85, and then you get to Miami-Dade, Florida, is 1.44%. So people aren't really influxing into those areas. They are actually moving out of those areas, and I'm presuming that they're going into the middle part of the state of Florida. But take a look at the map there. So that kind of gives you an idea. Up in the Boston area, you're starting to see also influx into the main area around Boston and things like that. So that's pretty amazing. The next map that we're going to take a look at, and I won't spend a lot of time here, but as far as the California median price map, this is a new feature for us. We kind of wanted to just take a look at this and just see what this medium single family home price is in California. So you take a look at Siskiyou County. You're looking at a price reduction of 34%. The darker colors, the heavier the reduction in valuations. The median household income there, of course, $49,000. But then when you start to come down, even to Fresno County, you're looking at a 1.18% reduction in the single-family home price. And just keep in mind that they are still well over pre-pandemic numbers here. In May of 2019 at 47%. So there's plenty of room there for price corrections, even around the San Francisco area. If we look at Contra Costa County, you're looking at 9.1% price reductions around San Francisco. Sacramento is feeling the same heat. And then also when you come down to Los Angeles, this is going to be pretty interesting. You're looking at a 13.42% price reductions in the Los Angeles County area. So we just wanted to take a look and see what is going on in California, and just see what's happening in that particular state. The top 50 largest price drops that we're looking at right now throughout the state is, you can see everything with the blue dots. We're going to zoom into the Maryland area first, just to see what some of the largest price drops are. And unfortunately, you're looking at Baltimore City. Here at Baltimore City you're looking at a price drop of 8.77%. That's a price reduction of $19,000 there. And we're doing this out of the top 50 states or so. Down here in Silver Spring, let me just zoom in just a little bit more so we can kind of take a look and see what we're doing. In Silver Spring, we're looking at a 5.49% reduction. And as we kind of move up the map, there are other reductions here as well that are very close to us, such as Reading, Pennsylvania, Lancaster, Pennsylvania, Philadelphia as well, taking a price reduction of 6.64%, even up in the New York area as well, 10.67%. As we move out of the map, we can see where some of the largest reductions are, and you're going to go over here and take a look at California. California, the blue dots are everywhere. You can see price reductions all around Los Angeles and Anaheim, California, 1.87%. You're looking at 4% in Long Beach, California. If you go up to Santa Clarita, you're looking at 5.64%. Even when you drop down to Oceanside, California, 7.82%. Again, a lot of it has to do with the climate, the current climate there that's occurring, whether it's financial, whether it's political, it doesn't matter. That's what's happening right now in the housing market. Elk Grove, California, 4.66%. So these areas are really kind of feeling the heat there. And also way north of the northern end of Texas, also like McKinney, Texas, 8.51%. And there are areas as well in the Florida area that has also taken some price reductions. So some people can possibly capitalize on this. Probably one of the biggest reductions here in Cape Coral, Florida, 21.5%. At 21.5%, there's still 46% over pre-pandemic numbers there, but at 21.5%, that tells you that there is definitely a correction going on within that particular market, as well as Sarasota, Florida at almost 4%, and also Bradenton, Florida at almost 5%. So there are some corrections that are going on in these particular areas. As we keep moving in through here, we have we're going to do our PE ratio map. Let me explain to you what this is. So the PE ratio map, if you take in the median household income by metro and comparing it to the median list price for that metro, we call this the PE ratio for that particular metro. So the darker blue the metro, the larger the PE ratio has grown during this housing bubble, and more unaffordable said metro has become. So this is more unaffordable that they've become. We're not going to kind of dive into this area. I don't want to bore you. We're going to skip through this. We're going to go to the active listings map. So the active listings map, we've already dealt with those. The active listings map. Let's take a look at this. Let's see what's on the market right now, county by county. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take a deep dive into Maryland. There's a decrease of active listings, and you can see there's a lot of blue all throughout the United States, and that is the decrease of inventory percentage growth, just to let you know. So if we come into, let's say, Baltimore County, you're looking at a 58% decrease. They're under by 1,780 units, just to let you know, and that's a 58% decrease there. If you go into Carroll County, you're looking at a 62% decrease. Look into Harford County, 64%. You could basically paint the entire state almost blue there with the lack of inventory. Let's just zoom out. We'll take a look at it as well. The lack of inventory, that's the darkest area, as you can see, is in that northeast corridor in the Midwest, and also throughout Wyoming, throughout Colorado. You can see a lot of blue areas all through here. New Mexico, there's just not a lot of inventory. A lot of buyers, by the way, but just not a lot of inventory. When you come into California, there's still a lack of inventory as well. You're looking at in the 40%, 50% range all throughout California. And also, we're dealing with the same numbers in Florida as well. Orlando, Kissimmee, Florida, you're looking at 5%, negative 5%. But then when you get to some of the coastal areas there, 36%, 44%. You move yourself all the way down to like Broward County, you're looking at 42%. And that is the decrease of inventory. We need more properties for buyers throughout the United States. As you can see, it's a very telling map there of what's happening with the active listings that are occurring. Now, home value price reduction map. We're going to take a look at this. And let me just check my time. Yeah, we're doing very well for time here. So this is the price reduction map. And we're going to fly into Maryland real quick here, just to see what's happening with some of these price reductions. What's going on with the price reduction? So if you take a look at here, you're looking at price reduction percentages, 0.92% in Baltimore County. In Baltimore City, you're looking at a 0.54%, and you're looking at 0.57% in Harford County as well. Some of these other counties have certainly reported as well. Frederick County, 1.33% in the price reductions by home value. So that's a very telling information there as far as what's happening in the marketplace. And let's look at the housing value index, the home value price reduction map. We just looked at that. Now let's look at the home value index by county. And these are the latest stats that we have to take a look at as soon as the map loads up here, and we'll take a look at it. So anyway, so a lot of green in here. So the home value percentage has increased. This is the valuations of these properties. You can see that in Baltimore County, you're looking at a peak to current of 1.54%. They've experienced the last 3 months. And a lot of this has to do, again, that we are in a seasonal time right now where we are expecting to see increases, but you're looking at 1.54%. They've experienced that for the last 3 months as well. Also, you're seeing the same thing in Carroll County, a 1.68% increase, and also in Harford County. Harford County has experienced a large influx or large price increase within that area of 2.96%, and they've experienced that the last 4 months. It did make everyone a little nervous going from August, obviously, through January with some decreases. But keep in mind that pre-pandemic levels since May of 2019, we're still 31% over the valuation since pre-pandemic levels. And that's pretty amazing, really is. When we go into some of these other areas here, like Anne Arundel County, 0.88%. We take a look at over here at Howard County at 0.85%. And even when you come up here to Cecil County, you're looking at 1.66%. As we fly around the country, we can take a look at what's happening here as far as the home value index by county. And these are the percentage of growth. You can start to see the decreases in very sporadic counties within the Midwest, around Colorado Springs, around Austin. There's been a decrease as well. And the home value decrease, in my opinion, has hit the hardest out here in the California area. So you're coming out to California, to Nevada. They've taken the largest hit as far as the home values. And they're really coming down, folks. You're looking at 10%. If we take a look at Alameda County has not experienced a growth in their home values since before July of last year. You can see the continued numbers there throughout California. I want to reiterate again, a lot of this has to do with just the financial, that the housing explosion that has occurred all throughout California. They've really been able to get away from the regular home buyer that wants to buy a property there, and there's a lot of room for those numbers to come down within that state. So it's, again, possibly a political environment as well. There's just a lot going on within this entire corridor. When you go up to Oregon and go up to Washington state, a lot going on in this area here as far as the reasoning for price reductions. When you come down to Miami, I know we have a lot of clients that are looking to obviously relocate down into that Florida area. You're starting to see some adjustments, not a lot, but you're starting to see some adjustments with the home valuations within, again, the Gulf Coast bordering counties there are taking the largest hit with the valuations. When you get into some of the interior counties, they're doing just fine. And of course, on the ocean side, they're doing just fine as well. Even when you get down to Miami, you're looking at price valuations there, like 4.8%, and that would be in Miami-Dade County. So that is a wrap for that overview map. And take a look at that map. That's pretty amazing and pretty telling of what's happening in our current market. So again, what I would encourage you is don't be afraid of what's going on in the marketplace right now. Again, I remind you, there's always someone buying, there's always selling a home every single day. It's a matter of really aligning yourself with an agent, with a team, with a brokerage that knows these stats, that knows this information like the back of their hand, because they are going to be the ones, we are going to be the ones to be able to help position you as a seller and position you as a buyer in to be able to make the best offer possible for a property and to be able to sell your home for top dollar. And we could share these stats with you. If you want something more particular to your subdivision that you live in, to your county, to your area, I'd be more than happy to send that information to you. If you like, just comment below if you like, or send a DM into any one of our social media formats. And I look forward to serving you next time. We're going to have a great show in a couple of weeks, and I'm looking forward to seeing you then. Take care.
What's your story? What's your sign? It's like we're twin flames in a different life. Deep connection lights a spark. It's like you know me in the depths of my heart. We're dreamers. Don't care what other people say. We live it like this could be our final day. We're dreamers. Don't care what the others say. We're doing this in our way. We come alive in the nighttime. It's something about how we dance in the moonlight. That look in your eyes, it tells me that you want me and all my loving. We come alive in the nighttime. You and I, we come alive. We come alive. We come alive. What's your weakness? What's your type? Somehow